Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I'm just going to get straight to it because that's how I feel tonight. On this day, today, my sister, I'm 50, I'll be 55 on December 16th. And my sister is 3.5 years younger than me. On this day, my sister served me eviction papers from her house. Eviction papers. She was with her boyfriend and two of her friends. Came here, served me papers. I grabbed the papers, said okay, went in my room, closed the door. Why is this? What what makes this a big deal? In my entire life, my sister and I have never ever had a problem. I trusted her 100% with my life. Did we have disagreements? Yes. See how it sounds like disagreement talk is done. That's how it was. Never an argument of raising voices, no physical, no disrespect, never even talk to each other disrespectfully. I want you guys to fully understand the full picture. And I'm just now turning 55. Now I want you guys to understand this. Now, recently I was awakened by a narcissist of the worst kind. The worst kind you could ever think of in your life. I was with her, and it which awakened me to where, oh my God, I'm in the wrong perspective of life. I left there, came back to stay with my sister to get back on my feet from the recovery of the narcissist. Uh, During this particular time with the narcissist, I invented something that created a business, and I naturally asked my sister to be. I wanted her to be part of it because I loved her and trusted her, and I said, "Hey, I created a business. You can quit your job," because she used to always complain to me about her job. I said, "You can quit your job, leave that boss that you feel so bad of, and double your salary, and you could just quit and be 50-50 partners." She said, "Okay, cool." I said, "Okay." I got everything set up. I gave her time. I got everything set up. And I said, "Okay, it's time. You can quit your job and come join me because I need your help to get it going." Right? And she was too scared to do it, to quit her job, and that's understandable. I want everybody to get, because when you've been working jobs all your life, I understand. So I gave her a year, but during that year, I know that she wasn't making any effort to be part of the business, but yet she still wanted the amount of money without putting in that amount of work. And for a while there, I was letting her take money more than I knew I would ever let anybody take for the amount of work she was doing, because she was hardly doing anything. So I said, you have to stop doing that because you're using me, because I'm doing all the work and you're taking an amount of money that you don't deserve. So that's really basically stealing from me. You're using me, right? And I literally had this conversation with her. She didn't agree. She didn't agree with me that she was doing that to me. Now stay with me. I'm telling her what she's doing, and she didn't agree that she was doing it. So I wasn't going to explain it or anything. Okay, well, we just don't agree. It's not a big deal. We've never had a fight. All you got to do is just sign this paper removing your name from the business, and we can just move on from it. Wasn't in my mind, this is what I'm thinking, because we've never had a problem. She told me no. She said she's not signing anything. Now, a friend of mine, before I had asked her to sign the paper, a friend of mine said to me, "Do you think your sister would do that? Do you think she would just sign the paper?" And I said, "Of course. We've never had a problem. She wouldn't want to ruin our relationship." And the day I brought the paper to her, and she said, "No, she's not signing it," I looked at her in her eyes and I said, If you don't sign this paper, our relationship is over. Do you understand what that means?" You're trying to hold my business hostage because you don't want to work and you want to continue to take money from me, and I don't want you to do that. And I'm saying no. So therefore, you're going to punish me by holding my business as ransom. Yes, that's what she did. Therefore, ending the relationship. Now, I had asked God earlier. I said, God, I'm ready to move on to my next perspective in life. And I've noticed anytime I ask God for something, you know what that means? That means I have to get out of the way for when he makes this space happen. There are people that cannot come, that did not earn to go to this space. They are not allowed to come and they must be removed. Now, I'm really trying my hardest to put this in words so people can get it. And I'm sure these words will get better as time goes on. But as I go back, as I think about it, this is where the program of family, when you hear the word family, one second. I got a cough, one second. When you hear words like family, brother, sister, uncle, mom, father, and they put these words in front of the word narcissist, it clouds my vision. Now, the reason why I say that is this. I've always known that my sister was a low down, dirty, cheating snake. She always cheated behind men, did deceptive things, and she was proud of it. She's always been proud of being that type of person. But since I was her brother and she wasn't doing it to me, I figured she would never do that to me because she had never disrespected me in my entire life like that. And the energy right there, that means I already knew. That's why I'm saying it to you. I already knew the type of person she was. I just think I didn't think this snake would bite me because of the word brother. But 99% of narcissists are part of somebody's family. We just pretend they're not a narcissist because we are related to them, which is a program. If they're disrespectful, they don't belong in my life, period. So this is what this is what God says to me, okay? And I'm gonna say this to you. You can believe it or not, it's totally up to you. God gave us all the freedom of choice. Everybody knows that. If you can choose, like everybody can, it's because God gave you the freedom, gave us the freedom to choose. God said, let her, let your sister, okay, it's a saying. It always rhymes. Things always rhyme. I must see what I thought my sister would never do to me. I must see what I thought my sister would never do to me. Now, during this time, and he also says this, I cannot retaliate. I cannot get revenge. I can't do something to make her mad. He says, Linnell, you can't do nothing. This is going to be very, very painful, but you have to watch. You must watch her do all the things you thought she would never do to you. You must see it and you must feel it so you never forget because I'm a natural forgiving person. I'm the type of person, if some years go by, it's been 5, 6 years, that's old news. Let's just forgive and forget. No, no, no. God says, you must feel this. Watch what she does. Watch what she does. Let's see what she does next. She talks about me. She talks behind my back. She's telling everybody lies. She's doing this. And God says, you cannot respond to nothing. All of that is being taken care of. You must watch and feel so you never forget, no matter how many years go by. The things, let me tell you something, you guys. Let me tell you something. Those guys, the people that everybody that has relatives, let me tell you something. She is doing things, she is saying things about me that I would have never, ever, if somebody would came to me and said, "Hey man, your sister said this," I would have said, you're fucking lying. My sister would never do that. She would never say that about me. God said you must see it. I bet you know what she said. God said, "I bet you thought she would never serve you with eviction papers, did you? Now you know. Now you know. Stop thinking." This is what he says. Stop thinking the way you would do things, Linnell. Just because you wouldn't kick your sister out, just because you wouldn't hold your sister's business for ransom, you are not her. Get that fake covering family stuff. Family, you must excuse. No, no, not at all. Not in this perspective. Not in the perspective that I'm choosing to go to. That doesn't exist. I do not respond to fear. Do you understand that? Fears. Let me show you something else I made up. I did. Fears, false evidence appearing real psychologically. You understand that? When she handed me the eviction papers, it's filled with fear energy trying to transfer into me. Not, that doesn't work. Listen, she of all people should know that. Ever since I was a child, I never cared what a person outside of me thought of me. That made absolutely no sense to me. Throughout my life, people have been jealous of me or some stupid nonsense. I don't care. So she of all people know this is what it really is. And I want everybody to understand this. She knows she cannot come back from this. So all narcissists do what they do. They go completely off the deep end, no return, go all in because they don't know how to come out. You understand? You got to take them relative glasses off and see them for who she is. This is if I feel like I'm watching a movie. Do you guys understand that? I've never, ever in my life seen this side of my sister, ever. We've been playing since we've been children with Hot Wheels on top of the football cover and playing house. You understand that? And it's been good ever since until this point to where I said, "Hey, listen, I don't know if you notice that you're using me, but you are. You're trying to do, listen, you're trying to do exactly. Let's give a background so you guys understand this. My sister is exactly like the narcissist. Exactly. She cheats on her boyfriend, talks about all her friends, tells me about her friend's personal business so much to where I have to tell her to shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear about it. Do you understand? She's gotten fired from jobs from talking. Is absolutely bananas. God said, "Your sister can't come." Can you imagine? Imagine this. This is it. And I know people really don't understand this because you have to go along. A lot of people will never understand. In order for me to understand, to uncover, for God to let my sister, God didn't do anything. God let my sister use her free will of choice to make these decisions. You guys understand that? All God told me was to watch. Watch and see. Don't retaliate. You can't give her anything. You got to let her do it 100% on herself. And I'm just watching. It's like watching a movie. I go from Loving and trusting my sister all the way up to this point in my life, just before my 55th birthday, to her being totally removed from my life for the rest of my life. She's out forever. The truth is, she knows she's out now. And listen, I want you guys to understand. Let's rewind it all the way back. I told her just like this: hey, sign the paper, remove your name from the business just right now. You're just not ready right now. This is how I'm talking. You're just not ready right now. You got a lot of stuff going. That's not a big deal. We can revisit this at another time. We'll just come back around to it. I'm thinking in my mind, this is my sister that I've known all my life. She turned to me and said, "You can bring 100 pens. I ain't signing shit." Let me tell you something. At that moment, let me tell you what I did. I put the paper on the counter, went in my room, locked my door, and went to sleep. Let me tell you why, so you guys can understand this. I am fully aware of emotions and what the negative sides need to make it into to make it physical. I knew at that moment I no longer had control over myself. So I had a little bit of self-control just left to get my ass in the room, to close the door, to go to sleep. Now I can't do shit. I got to go to sleep. And then when I wake up, I'll be re energized and I can think. That takes tremendous control. Do you guys understand that? That takes practice. That takes years of tormenting. That's practice. And then so when she served me the papers, it's not a really big deal. Give me the papers. Okay. All right. Now I just respond with whatever I got to do next. Not a big deal. The outcome is still the same. She is removed from my life. It doesn't matter how, which, if she wants to feel like she's in control of doing it, because remember, narcissists always want to do that. They always want to feel control, like they're in control of something. Hey, whatever you want to feel like, it doesn't matter to me. You ain't gonna get no resistance from me at all, none. I'm just gonna make a move, do this, change that, whatever. It doesn't mean anything to me. Whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. But all I know is this: she's gonna be removed, and she is the last narcissist that is close to me. And this is for the people that are listening. It doesn't matter. Don't get hidden behind the disguise of family, sister, brother, or we've been up and down. No, disrespect is disrespect. Period. You gotta. This is the hardest thing that you're gonna ever have to do in your life. You have to let them show you who they are. And this is all you have to do. If you really want to see, if you're with a narcissist, tell them no. Hey, you can't disrespect me no more. Yeah, yeah. I know I've been letting you do it for year after year after year, but today, you know what? I don't want that anymore. Watch and see what's going to happen. It's going to shatter all your love dreams, and you think love conquers all. They're going to be doing anything for me. They're going to show you that. Listen, my sister has shown me that my version of love for her was totally different. She is doing things that I never even thought of doing to my sister. You understand me? Sorry, take a drink real quick. It's like it's like watching a movie. I got some popcorn. I'm like, what you gonna do next? What? You telling mom what? Oh, mom's siding with you. Oh, okay, whatever. You think I'm gonna call up my mom and say, "Hey, mom, why you siding with sister?" No, she's in the movie with my sister. I'm watching. They all get together. Hey, when you served Lionel with those papers, hey, what did he do? He didn't do anything. What did he say? Nothing. Is he still paying his half of the rent and half of the bills and paying on this and that? Yeah, he's doing all that. He hasn't stopped doing anything he said he was going to do. Nothing. And God said, don't stop doing anything. How many people you think can do that? People, the first reaction of people, hey, if you do this, I'm gonna do this to you. No, I'm not turning into you. You're not gonna turn me into you. I'm not gonna be bitter and this and that. And hey, I'm gonna think of a deceived plan to get you back. No, this is rolling forward regardless of what you already made your statement. You just they're gonna keep digging and digging and digging. And this is the lovely part I love. Okay, let me explain this to a lot of you guys. When the narcissist, when I left the narcissist, right? She was talking just like my sister. Oh, you ain't shit. I don't need you. I don't really care. And this and that. I said, you keep doing that, I'm gonna leave you. And then when I leave her, guess what she's doing? Start crying, begging, 15. And guess what she did? Guess what she did? She called my sister, crying, crying on the phone. Whatever. They was listen. They was in the. She was in the car talking to this woman for an hour in the car. When I said to her, I said, hey, when you're done talking to her, don't tell me anything you said to her or you said to her, she said to you. I don't want to know, don't care. But I could see the excitement in my sister because that's part of her perspective of the world, of the drama, to hear people's pain, because that's what she always did. She always tried to tell me about her problems of her friends. I was always like, why are you always on the phone? Aren't you tired of hearing all this negative stuff? No, that's what she does. She loves it, and then she likes to share it with other people. But I guarantee you, her friends that are confiding in her, they don't know that she's sharing. Like a couple, the friends that she came over here with to serve me papers, she talks about those friends. I know her friends' private business with their boyfriends, and I didn't even ask for it. She's just volunteering the information. She's crying on the phone to my sister, and I told to my sister one time, I said, "Hey, one time we was having a discussion about this earlier in this whole problem. I said, you know, you remember my ex crying on the phone? You see how horrible she was sounding crying on the phone? Yeah, yeah. I said that's gonna be you, but worse, but 100 times worse because she was just my girlfriend. Okay, no kids, not married. You are my sister my entire life. You're gonna be Your crying is gonna be 100 times worse than hers. Of course, you're not going to tell me. Of course, you're not going to do it because I'm sure you're doing it now, but you just don't know how to escape. They just don't know how to escape. Narcissists do not apologize. You need to accept that. I'm sharing this with you so you guys can understand the level. I'm almost 55 years old, and I am just now discovering my sister is a narcissist because she's doing it to me. Somebody, listen, somebody that has never, ever, ever done her wrong, ever. We have never done each other wrong. Let me make sure it's clarity. I haven't done her wrong. She hasn't done me wrong. Always respect, never disrespect with words, never like, oh, fuck you, bitch. None of that kind of stuff. No, that was The raising of the voice, nope, nope, nope. And she's gone from that to her true self. What I'm seeing now, this is going to be hardest part for a lot of people going through this with their family members. You're going to have to accept that your sister, brother, relative is a narcissist. It's irrelevant if they know it or not. 100% irrelevant if they know it or not. They must be removed until you, inside of you right now is probably a peace perspective of life. You have this vision of what it could be like. Do you know? Let me tell you something. Do you know there's a perspective of life that there's no cheating, there's no lying, there's no competition that you got to be a certain way to get a certain type of woman and all of that is a perspective of life. That's a perspective of people that they choose to be there. None of that exists in my perspective of life. You guys understand that? None of that exists. You don't I don't have to I don't have to prepare myself to be a certain way to protect myself from a person. When you don't live in that perspective of life anymore, those people that believe it's like that, they don't know that they live in a perspective. So they talk a certain way, they think a certain way, they do certain things. They don't know that they do. It's the same way with a narcissist. Narcissists believe that the world that they live in is the world. It is the only perspective. There are no other perspectives, and that's where they fail. But that's a plus for me because it's obvious for me. Like here, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. People people when you don't like I don't cheat, I don't lie, I don't do things behind people's back, when now that I don't do that, it's easy to see the people that do. Do you guys understand that? Like when people cheat, that means that this is a quick easy example. If a person's cheating on you, there absolutely must be blocks of unaccountable time that you cannot get in contact with them because they must physically, like if they're trying to physically be with the person, that means there must be blocks of time that are unaccountable. Because when you don't cheat, you always, you could say where you're at, everything you do is accountable. It's not a big deal because you're not doing anything. Do you guys understand that? The truth just flows, right? When you live in a perspective that where I live, the truth flows. It's easy. It's not a big deal. But when you lie, it doesn't make any sense. But when you live in a perspective that people lie all the time, they don't know that. They don't know when they talk a certain way, it sounds like a complete lie. They don't know that though. So now what I do is just listen and say, "Oh, okay, you live in that." I don't say nothing to them. I just say, "Okay, you live in that perspective because you're lying." And let me say this to you guys. I have never ever been a liar. You guys understand it? And when I say a liar, let me make sure I'm clear. Have I ever cheated on a woman? Which takes when you cheat, you're an automatic liar. Yes, I have. I'm talking about lying like just for no reason, just going through life just lying. You understand? Just hey, yeah, I went to school over here. Why are you saying that when they didn't? That kind of stuff. Do you know how many people do that? You would be amazed how many people just lie. Narcissists, that's all they do. My sister is a complete liar. Do you understand that? Her life is a lie. The way she portrays to her friends that she got her stuff together, it's a lie. I don't say anything. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something what I had to do with this narcissistic sister of mine. One day, one day, now she knows exactly this is how the narcissistic people are. She knows why I left my narcissistic girlfriend. She knows why. But one time she came home with her boyfriend of years. Okay. She gets dropped off with a boyfriend of years that treats her like a princess. Treats her like a princess. You hear me? Drops her off. Guess who comes over a few hours later? Her boyfriend. While I'm there, you guys, while I'm there, trying to introduce me to him. Hey, this is so and so. I'm thinking, am I in the Twilight Zone? You're introducing me to your side nigga? Is that what you're doing? Are you crazy? But I'm not saying this because I'm thinking this is my sister. It's not me. Whatever happens is on her. Blah 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 blah. Just thinking I could be around that type of negative stuff. I can't. So one time she goes, "Hey, my side dude is selling clothes. Can you do this and that and this and that to help him promote?" I was like, I talked to her. I said, "Hey, listen, and you guys think I'm joking. I'm not." I said, "Hey, I don't want to be involved in your stuff because if I do that, that means I am indirectly involved in your negative activity, which I don't want any part of because that's how people get hurt. That's how people get hurt. You guys understand that? They don't people don't, hey man, if a boyfriend comes one listen, once it blows up, because that type of shit always does. Once it blows up, I don't want her boyfriend turning to me and say, "Hey, Linnell, did you know the whole time?" What am I gonna say? I would have to say, "Yes, I did." Well, why didn't you tell me? You know why I can't tell you, but when you're going through emotions, people don't care about that. So I had to tell her, "Hey, listen, don't involve me in that type of shit. Don't." And then, and this recent, listen, this last year, this is when I knew, okay, she disrespects her boyfriend so bad she does it in front of me. Do you guys understand that? So we went on this vacation, this family reunion vacation, right? And I went with them to save money. We got a house and a rental house or whatever for the time to save money, right? She was disrespecting him so bad in front of me. I said to myself, this is the last time I'm going anywhere with her and her boyfriend. I'm not doing that again. I should have known if I'm saying that. Okay, listen, this is how serious it is. If I'm saying that, that means I need to get away from her. So now that she serves these papers, these eviction papers today, I just say to God, "You're right, God." This is what I say to God. "You're right, God." I bet you, God's like, "I bet you didn't think your sister would ever serve you eviction papers." I turned to him and said, "You're right. I didn't think she would do that either. What's next?" He said, "You just got to wait and see. She'll show you. You can't tell me." Listen, God already knows. God knows everything. He just can't tell me. He said, "She's going to show you." Narcissists can't, if you want, if you want to see, if you dare, okay, could the outcome be that you're going to lose them forever? Yes. You got to be prepared for that. If you want to see what they would do to you, this blood relative that you love so much and trust so much, go to them and say, "Hey, I'm not going to allow you to disrespect me no more starting today." They're going to say, "Hey, what does that mean? What are you talking about? I never disrespected you. Tell me, give me a reason. Tell me the time I did. What are you talking about?" That's what they say. You just say, "I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just telling you. I'm just sharing something with you." You got to remain calm because they're going to try to push your buttons. They're going to try to do something. And if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, uh, it's a control thing. So if I was in a relationship with a narcissist today, I would be prepared. I would untie myself to things that may be joined. This is before I pull down their mask and say, "Hey, I'm leaving you because you're not. Yep. Hey, I'm not going to let. This is what I mean. Hey, I'm not going to let you disrespect me anymore." And there's going to be repercussions for that because they're going to try to stop you, change your mind, uh, whatever. I like when my sister's serving eviction papers to me. I don't know what she's. I don't know, but okay, all right. You want me out? All right, cool. It's not a big deal to me. Not a big deal. It changes nothing. You have to be prepared for that. It's up to you to stop the disrespect. I'm going to be an example. That's why I'm even sharing this with you, 'cause I don't want you guys to think this is bullshit. I'm going to tell you guys when it happens. But I'm able to tell you, listen, this is the difference. I'm able to tell you while it's happening without emotions. I don't care that she's serving me papers. It's just what I see is like, what I see is this. She's showing me who she is. This is what I asked God for. When she served me the papers today, this is God telling this is what it is. He said, "See, would you do that to her?" I said, "No." Well, she would do it to you. So you guys are not the same. It's very clear. And the only reason, listen, the only reason why I was able to do that, let me explain to you, because it's my sister. I grabbed the paper because I don't want you guys to think I was completely non-emotional. That's like, hey, cigarette smoker, stop smoking cigarettes today. That's not going to happen because your body won't allow it to happen. Did I feel the energy going through my body? Yes. I'm not immune to that because I am addicted to my sister being in my life and this and that. I want you guys to be clear. But the reason is that's why close the door, lock it. That's it. There's no more talking. There's no more interaction. I know when I don't have full control, and I don't. That's why I'm able to follow God's request because that's how I do it. Each day, each thing she does, I get stronger because I don't see her as my sister. I don't see her as my sister today. I'm just saying my sister because I don't want to use her name. That's all. So I just keep saying my sister, but I don't look at her as my sister. I use her name now. You guys understand that? I use my mother's first name too. I don't say mom. I just say her first name. They need to understand this is how you gotta treat this, not treat. This is what a narcissist must know. They're gonna know that they're not gonna be able to do that to me anymore because I need you guys to understand the bigger picture. What my sister's doing to me, she's not only doing it to me. To think to think she would only do this to me would be an ego-driven person. She does that to everybody in her life. I'm just the person telling her no. And after this, she's going to know that she's never going to be able to do that again. Time is not going to pass by. 5 years, she's not going to be able to make a phone call and say, "Hey, let's talk." It's not like that because it's being taken care of today. We think this is, listen closely, energy doesn't have any type of distance. Okay. It doesn't matter if you move away without taking care of it. It's, it doesn't matter how far you move away. The energy is still there. It's still there. You can move to another state, city. Oh, I got to get away from them. No, it doesn't matter. They're going to know that there is no chance of recovery unless God tells me it is. God has to tell me. Unless God tells me, I will never see or talk to her again, or my mother. Well, my mother has a chance. Let me not say my mother. I don't think my mother is a narcissist. She is just in denial about some stuff. That's all. Let me put it that way. But when it comes to my sister, she is removed. Period. She's out. She's been gone. It it starts psychological. If you're involved with a narcissist, you live with them, and you just, it starts mentally first. You must remove them seriously from your mind. And when you do that, when you leave, you're not mad, you're not angry, you're not. Everything she's doing now, I know what narcissists do. I expect her to do it all the way to the end. I just got to see it. People are not people are not strong enough to sit back and not retaliate. When I see, I'm like, damn, I didn't think she would do that. I didn't think she would say that. Why is she talking like that? Ooh, she's bringing up the past stuff about my relationship, everything. I'm just listening. I'm like, wow. There be, when a narcissist have a conversation with you, they be everywhere. They're everywhere. The past, what about this and this? Everything but the present moment. Pay attention. Everything but the present moment. You just don't follow them. I just go, okay, well, I'm just going in the room. No more direct contact. When they get to a level, because like you gotta, what it really is that she wants my energy. So this is what I do. This is what I do to narcissists. This is what I did to the narcissist I left. No more talking, no more direct contact, email only. No more, because when you have direct conversations, what they want to do is, like, when you have a direct conversation with a narcissist, they're not there to be productive. It's not there to figure out a way to fix this. It's there to read your emotions, to see where you're at, to see if you cry, to see if your voice changes. Because if any of that happens, that means that they still, you care or whatever. They just have this totally wrong everything, right? And it's true. Of course, you're going to react like that because you care. That's why you have to cut it off. Email only. Email only. So now you don't have to hear anything. You can read their email, pick through it, and just answer the questions you want, and just leave out all the garbage that they talk about. Just don't even pay attention to it. You don't do any of that. What it really is, listen, people, she knows she no longer has a brother. Now, I want you guys to really think about this. When that happens, it usually means the brother dies. But this way, her brother is dead, but he's alive. Do you guys understand that? That's the difference. Her, her brother is dead to her, but I'm actually alive. Can you imagine that pain? When your brother or sister dies physically, that's pain enough. Imagine you're dead to your brother or sister and they're alive. That's got to be like double the pain. But right now, she obviously don't feel it. Yeah, she's still doing stuff, serving papers, whatever. Hey, whatever, man. It doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't. No, I'm not gonna say not at all. Let me say this. I'm fully aware of the purpose of it. You want my energy? Nope. You get it. You get no more of my energy. None. Zero. Negative or positive, people. Narcissists will take anything you give them, positive or negative energy. They just want it. You got to say, no, no more. God's like, you asked me to take you to the next perspective, but she can't come. Why? Because she is the way she is. My sister is dirty. You understand me? She's dirty. I'm like, damn, I'm home. She was bringing her side dude over, and I was home. You guys understand me? I'm like, damn. She was that chick. Now, no guy wants to think his sister is that chick. No guy wants to think that. That's my sister. She's that chick. I didn't I didn't even want to admit it. She's that chick. And she's horrible. She's a horrible, horrible person. And she's getting worse. She's getting worse. All I know is this. All that horrible stuff, it stops with me. She'll never, listen, never, ever be able to do that to me again. Ever. Nobody that close gets a second chance. Let me explain that to you. Nobody that close to me will ever get a second chance to do that again. She took a gift. Listen, I invented a business. You guys hear me? I invented it. It didn't even exist. The first person I thought about sharing it with was my sister. She takes it and uses it at ransom, and she's doing it today. Sure is. I ain't signing nothing. Get out. Do this. I said, well, sign the paper. Listen, I'm saying just like this. Sign the paper, and I will leave on my own. Just sign the paper. I don't want to have to come back. Hey, have you did this? Have you done that? I want to just do it right now and just leave. No, I ain't signing nothing. You better have the truck out today. Just all the stuff narcissists say. You know what God said? Stop. Stop talking to her. Stop. Stop doing that. Only thing she's doing is gauging your the only thing she's doing is gauging your emotions. When you talk, see if you're gonna cry, see if your voice changes. All of the above happens because that was my sister of my entire life. I don't want you guys to think that when I'm talking to her, I'm talking to you, I'm talking to her the way I'm talking to you. It's not like that. I don't have control over it because I trusted her my entire life. So therefore, I know when I don't have control, that means it's time to cut that part off until I'm strong enough to do that again. But if you can hear it in my voice, I'm not far from it. The only problem is that I'm still physically in her house. That's it. My plan was this, people, so you guys understand. My plan was this: come here, have her join, pay off her house, which would help us both. Pay off our house within a year. You hear me? Within a year. Pay off our house. It save us both money. We don't have. Can you imagine how much money I would save with no rent at all, no nothing? You guys understand? No, listen, no rent or mortgage plus no debt. You guys have no your money would stack so fast your head would spin with just having a regular job. You guys don't even understand that. But when it's like that, that was my. But listen, she didn't have the same. Her vision was this. This was her vision. Still do what I was saying, but she didn't have to participate as the 50% partner. She didn't realize that she had to actually participate 50% of the business. Do you hear me? When she talked like that, I was like, I cannot believe I'm having this conversation. Wait a minute. I have to tell you that you actually have to participate 50%. I said, I'm in trouble. I said that to myself. I said, uh-oh, uh-oh. Hey, are you going to be here today? Are you going, oh, I got to do this and that. I'm like, hey, listen. And listen, on top of that, keep a regular job. She wanted me to pay the majority of the bills in the house, keep a regular job, work about 10% of the company, but get paid 50% of the company. I said, no. I said, you're using me. I don't think I'm using you. Well, I don't care what you think. I said, just, yeah, that, well, you are. It's not a big deal. Just sign the paper. I'm just move on. Nope. God said, you have something that there's something here for you to learn. That's why you put your sister on your business. This is how God speaks to me. That's why this is the only, listen closely. This was the only way I could bring out this in my sister towards me, because we didn't have any ties like that. If, there was nothing she could hold over me because we didn't tie anything. So God said, here, you asked this of me. Let me show you. Boom. Sometimes things happen. It's not negative. A lot of people listen to this and say, "Oh man, you should have did this before you put her on." No, no, no. This was supposed to happen. This was the only way my sister was going to show her true self to her brother of all of her life. You hear me, people? A relationship with absolutely no issues. None. We had no issues ever. We were the closest out of the family. You guys hear me? Everybody in the family, oh, you guys are so tight and kid. Da, da, da." I was like, okay, yeah. That's how. And then one day, just like that, as soon as she said, I ain't signing nothing, I was like, what? I can't believe what I'm hearing. God's like, well, believe it. I wouldn't do that. I'm thinking, here's all these things start running through my mind. I wouldn't do that to you. I love you. I wouldn't dare do that. That doesn't matter. God's like, that doesn't matter. We're not talking about you. We're talking about her. She's doing that to you. She's telling all her flying monkeys tons of lies. They don't listen. They don't know she's lying to her. They don't know she's lying to them. They don't know that. You just naturally believe them. You know what I think about now? Everything that she told me about certain events that happened in the past, she used to always blame the other person for all lies. Of course, anytime she told me stories about another person, I would side with her because she never did me wrong. It was a natural thing. Lies. Now I have to just, okay, God said you just don't respond. Let her keep doing it. Let her keep making the choices. Let her keep doing it. You got to see it all the way through, Linnell. You got to see it all the way through. It's crazy, you guys. This is for me to tell you because there's millions of you guys in the exact same situation. Oh, it's okay. They're family. No, it's not. And I believe, let me go all the way back. I believe this. The reason why I didn't have self-confident problems, the reason why I believe in God and blah blah blah, it was because of my mother. She put the fear of God into me, saying just like this, hey, God sees everything. You're going to be punished if you do this. And as a kid, if you hear that repeatedly, which I did, I mean, not bad, not she wasn't that type of Christian person. She would just let us know, it's like, hey, take us to church. God sees everything. As a kid, it instilled in me and it stayed into me as an adult. That's why, as a young child growing up, I always had God in my mind. If when I was about to do bad things or do something, it would always God would be there, and everybody realized this. God, just before I would do the bad thing, God would say, "Huh, what if you get caught? Should you really be doing that?" Whatever it was that you're not supposed to be doing, because everybody knows when they're about to do something that they're not supposed to do. Right at that moment, whether you believe it or not, and it counts on how loud the voice is, it counts on how deep you are. It could be a tiny little faint voice, or it could be a louder voice. But it always says, hey, man, you think you should do it? What if you get caught and who's gonna take care of the kids? Who's gonna what if your wife sees it? You know how bad what if your wife finds out? That's gonna hurt her really bad. What if your husband finds out you're doing this? That's gonna really hurt them and affect. You see what I'm saying? And then you just override it. And then the devil comes in and says, "Nah, man, nobody's gonna know. We're about to get paid. We're about to get some money. This will take care of the family, blah, whatever." He was always there all my entire life, even when I was doing bad. He was always there. Hey, this you're not supposed to be doing this. You shouldn't be doing this. Whether you want to believe that or not, I'm sure that does not. I'm not the only one that happens to every day. It doesn't happen now because the only thing I do is live for God now. God sees, I live my life like this. God sees everything, period. If I go in the room, close the door, to soundproof, it doesn't matter. Physical things don't matter. And it's freedom. It's free. It's, it's not true that people cheat. Everybody cheats. The majority of people lie. Listen, people, that is a perspective of life. I don't live in that perspective. My sister is the last piece of the old perspective of life because I used to believe that you can't trust anybody. You got to double check. No, you don't. When you live in the perspective I live today, when you live a certain way, the people that don't live the same way are easy to see. It's like a it's like a person grew up in the country and then came over to the suburbs and said he grew up in the suburbs. Everybody would know he's lying right away. That's what I mean. It's a it's beautiful. Uh, I'm excited about this. Is a lot of people won't probably will not understand this, but the more my sister solidified that she's a narcissist, I'm excited about getting her removed from my life. You guys understand? It helps me become stronger. It helps me get over the she's my sister, she's blood, everything that is pushed down your throat as you grow up from a child. It's okay. They did it. Don't say anything. It's your brother. Hey, listen, they shouldn't have did it. Period. You don't push it on to the person they're doing it to. No. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You better stop that. Get it. Listen. Tick tock. Tick tock. Listen closely. All you got to do is drive by a graveyard. 99% of those people ran out of time. Graveyards are reminders, people, of people. 99% of people ran out of time. Who knows who knows if they knew that they didn't have to accept that from narcissistic behavior from family members, disrespect from boyfriend, girlfriends, hitting, abusive. Who knows if they ever figured out that they had a choice that God given by God to not accept it anymore. I don't give a shit what my sister does. It's over. Do you understand? She can do whatever she needs to do for the power she needs to feel. But at the end of the day, she's dead to me, unless God says otherwise. You guys understand that? This is how real it is. I got to, you got to take yourself away from, all you have to do is this. If this is the easiest way, all you have to do is this. If that person in your life wasn't a relative, would you fuck with them? If the answer is no, you are hiding behind the facade, the program of the word brother, sister, uncle, niece, whatever that grand, whatever. It doesn't matter. A narcissist is a narcissist, period. If you know you would not mess with that person in any form or fashion, they need to be removed. Are you strong enough to do it? I'm not just talking shit. I'm in the middle of doing it. You guys understand that? I'm not one of these people that want to tell you to do something that I wouldn't do, that I no, listen, do something that I haven't done. I'm in the middle of doing it. I just got served with eviction papers from my sister today. I don't care. I was leaving anyway. She just want to feel, they always want to feel powerful, like she's making me leave. I was going to leave anyway. I would have left months ago. All she had to do was sign the papers. I would have left. She knows. Listen, this is how crazy a narcissist is. She wants me to leave out of her house so bad, right? I said, all you gotta do is sign the papers and I'll leave. Oh no, I ain't signing those. Why not? Because of control, people. You have to tell a narcissist, no, you're not gonna control me. I don't care what you do. You're not gonna scare me. If it is what it is, I'll just take care of it. I'll do it. Whatever. She's a person on the streets to me now. She's a disgruntled landlord. I'm a brother that she don't have to ask for rent. She don't have to ask for half the utilities. It's automatically sent automatically before the due dates. I don't even think about it. Narcissists must be removed. They have no logic of anything. They will slow you down. Do not ever, ever, ever get into business with a narcissist. And the reason why I say this, if you've identified, because people do this all the time, like me, you get into business with them because they're a relative. When all you have to do is take a step back and look how they're treating the business of their life. I know you guys think, most people don't think one thing has to do with the other, but it does. If you have a family member that's a liar and a cheater and they're married and they're always cheating and lying, and but business is different, no, it's not. No, it's not. It's the same. You don't get into business with a cheater and a liar because it is the same. It transfers over. Those habits transfer over into business, and they'll treat the business even worse because they are who they are. The reason why they don't know that, because they live in a perspective that they believe that is normal to do that. If I see, like, here, let me give you an example. Say like you see a business owner. This is a perfect example, actually. Say like you have a business owner that parades their family on, say like a male business owner. Let's go because the male perspective is easier for me to relate to. Say like this male business owner parades his wife and his kids on social media like he is the ultimate uh, father, husband, blah blah blah, but you know for a fact that he cheats. Now instead of not now, this is not to say get into their business or anything, but this is just for you. All you gotta do is take a step back and not say, well, he doesn't, she doesn't know, whatever, right? That should tell you the person that you're looking at is a liar. You understand that? They're a liar, especially if you know for a fact that they're cheating. If that's your friend is a liar and they're a business owner. I would never do business with a business owner that's a liar. At least direct business. Let's put it that way. Direct business. It's all the same. I see you guys sneak up in here. Let me turn. Let me see those all in here. What's up, Wayman? Mariah? Let me go back up here, read some of what you guys are saying. Mariah says, I have an older brother that narcissistic like traits. I am the only girl and the youngest one. Okay, same for me. Never saw it coming from my older siblings. The minute mom got sick, the mask fell down. Yep, it's very, very difficult. I do understand it. I'm in the same place. Raymond says, I had to discontinue my relationship with my cousin, mostly because of her vile speech. Understandable. Towards her spouse. Oh, yeah, that's horrible. I know. Same with my sister. Cousin or not, she showed me that she has a disrespectful attitude towards men in general. Yep, they show people when they, again, when they live in that perspective, I want you guys to really understand discernment. When you see somebody do that in front of people, in front of people, don't care. They're telling you about themselves. Imagine like this when you see people disrespect somebody in front of other people, imagine what they do behind closed doors. Can you imagine? Oh man, it just takes me back. King of Thrones says, I told my sister, when dad dies, you'll never see me again. We've since had some tough conversations and worked things out good now. Okay. All right. Congratulations. I'm glad you put your foot down. Congratulations. I'm glad to hear that. Usually, and it sounds like she might have not been a narcissist because let me tell you something. Narcissists, mm, they just don't. What's going on, QQ? I'm gonna just say QQ because I can't really. What's going on? Stay strong. Had several narcissists, including my family. I've been through it all. Congratulations. I'm glad you, man, I'm glad you made it through. If you're chosen by God, the narcissist demon wants you dead. Sure do. Sure do. That way you can't do God's work. QQ, let me say this to you. One thing now I do respect is the devil. Because if people pretend like he doesn't exist, and I'm using the word devil because that's what we call the negative side of things. Okay, so I'm gonna just use devil, devil, but but he exists. But now I can see him. Okay, and I respect him. He never stops. He uses the people like right now. He uses the people that he controls. So he uses my sister. He obviously controls my sister. And so he uses her to try to uh, do something to me, make me mad, or do something that's going to throw me off my thing. No, I already know what you're. Oh, you're using my sister. I already know my sister. Listen, let's go even deeper. I already know my sister is being used. She doesn't know she's being used. I'm just saying, this is what I'm saying. Hey, I see you. Okay, you're not tricking me. I know what you're trying to do. You're not going to do it. It doesn't work. I know she's the last one that's close to me. I know you're going to make it very difficult for me to leave her, to make things separate from her, but it's going to happen. Nothing's going to stop it. I'm not going to react. I'm not going to respond. She's going to do what she's going to do. I'm just going to, I'm not react. I'm going to respond to what she's going to not react. I'm going to respond, take care of what I need to take care of to make sure I'm cool and then just move on and it's going to be over. Period. Nothing's going to stop me. Nothing's going to stop me because remember, God created the devil. I don't really want to get into all this. This is not really my point, but I'm just saying, not the other way around. I just want people to don't forget that. Okay. All right. You don't need to eat or drink anything in her house. It could be poison. No, well, it's not like that. Let me say, let me do another thing. Let me say another thing. Okay. So since I've been here, this is another weird thing. Okay. She has not been here. She's been gone for weeks from her own house, staying with my mother, staying with her boyfriend, not staying here at the house. For what? I don't even know. Narcissists are cowards. You hear me? They are complete cowards. I've been loving it. She hasn't been here. She pops in, picks up some things, and then leaves. She's like, here, 5, 10 minutes, out of here. Unless she comes with some friends to serve some papers or to do something. Who knows? She's just weird shit, right? But whatever. It's like I don't know she's afraid of what she caused. This is how you got to look at it. I don't know what narcissists do, why they do the things they do. I really don't care. But she's just now she caused something that she can't get out of. That's what it is. She's too deep. She is. She went too deep because I told her. I said, if you do this, our relationship is over. And she basically said, fuck you, it's over. All right then. See you later. You no longer have a brother. How you doing, Alonzo? Yes, cowards. Okay, good thing she's not. No, she's not. She's not that type of person. No, she's not that type of person. No. Now the ex narcissist, she was that type of person. The ex narcissist, she she was the type of that would get me into called set me up, get me caught by the police, set me up with the police, put me in jail. That's serious. That type of stuff. Just make up some stuff for oh, he hit me. Or she was that type of narcissist that didn't care about she would put this way, she would put her hands on me so much because narcissists they like picking people that don't hit back. So if you're a person with a narcissist, that's why the narcissist picked you because you don't hit back. They wouldn't be with a person that would hit them back. But they usually pick the people that care about their career, uh, their reputation. They don't, they don't want to, they don't naturally hit other human beings. It's just a natural thing. That's why they pick you guys. That's why the narcissists pick me because they know they can get worse and worse and worse, and you're not going to hit back. They know that. And then say like this, say like they hit you one time to where push a button and you did it. Now you know what they're going to say? Oh my God, you're just like me. They're trying to turn you into them. I wasn't going to let the ex narcissist do that to me. I was going to leave her before it got to that. And I did. I left her. She was trying to get me there because they get worse. They get worse and worse, and they just do horrible things. The ex, she put marks on my body, scratches. She used to punch me. She used to try to, if she got really mad, she used to grab at my private parts and try to squeeze them really hard. Just crazy stuff I've never even heard of in my life. I thought to myself, I got to get out of here before she turns me into her because she's acting like I can't protect myself. But she knows I'm a man that I can protect myself. She was just trying to turn me into her, call the police. And then now I have a record. Now I'm legally tied to a narcissist. You do not want to be legally tied to a narcissist. You do not want that. Yeah, right. We have something to lose, all that. That's why narcissists choose people that have good reputations, no police record, no record of violence, no record of felonies, no, you're not. They just do that. So, oh, this person's not going to do any of that stuff because they care about their future. Narcissists don't care about anything. They think it's normal to get the police called on them. No, it's not normal for people like me. The police are not in my life. The police are not called to my house because of arguments and stuff like that. When you live in a different perspective, that doesn't exist. In my perspective, if you're even coming close to calling the police, you've been in a relationship too long. Here, let me give you an example of where the perspective of where I live, especially when it comes to relationships. Okay. Now that I can easily identify narcissists because I was with a girlfriend that was the worst one, and now a sister all my life, and just now discovered it in my 50s, half of my life later. Today, I'm a I'm debt free. I own my own businesses, and now I'm awakened. I'm awakened, chosen one. So if a woman to come into my life now, today, she has to be here where I'm at. What does that mean? She can't be in debt. She can have no debt because when you're in debt, you're in bondage. But you don't, if you've been in debt all your life, you don't know that. And I'm not here to explain that to anybody. I'm just here to share something with you. Once I, after that, that's not it because that's how the narcissist found me, you guys. That's how she got me because she happened to have no debt. I thought, wow, that's rare. She must be it. She must be the one because she has no debt. Little did I know there was a second part. There's a psychological part, the narcissist part. I didn't know about narcissists. I didn't know narcissists existed. I did not know they existed. Enters the narcissist. She's doing everything, every single thing that you're not supposed to do in a relationship and in denial about it. It was confusing the hell out of me. I didn't know what was going at the same time telling me she loves me. I didn't know it about narcissistic fog and narcissistic people. I didn't know they existed. Now I do. So there are two major parts that a woman would have to already know. Now, would I explain this to anybody? No, I don't have to because when you live in a perspective of no debts, debt free, no problems, no negativity of any kind, it's easy to see the people that do have it because they naturally talk about it. Oh, this, that, my problems, my boss, the bills, this and that. In this perspective, that those kind of conversations don't happen. Nobody's talking about a boss that treats them bad or their boyfriend or girlfriend's hitting them in the face and disrespecting them and cussing at them and disrespecting them in front of people. That doesn't happen in the perspective of where I live. It just doesn't happen now. Does it happen? Yes, in a different perspective of life. The reason why it's hard for people to see because the majority are in it. Put it this way. If I found some, say like this, I'm out and I actually found a woman that was here, that was already here. Never in a million years would I go and mess around on her. You guys understand that? That would be totally, you guys, doesn't even make any sense. Because listen, those of you right now, that, and there's a lot of you, you're with somebody now and you fooled around on him with somebody else and they don't know it. The energy is automatically different. You know why? Because you know it. If you was in a relationship and it was 100% pure, nobody fooled around on anybody because that's how relationships usually start out. Nobody fooled around on anybody. Right there at that moment, it's pure. One of you go and fool around in secret, come back, nobody knows anything. Well, it's changed forever because you've changed the energy forever. Partners really just don't pick it up because they don't really understand discernment. They already know once a person fools around on you, the partner automatically acts different. And then your partner picks up on it. Hey, you've been acting funny lately. Why are you doing this and that and this and that? But they don't know why they're doing that. They don't know why they're doing that. It's energy because the energy is different. The person that fools around in secret, the energy is in them now. And then once they're done doing it, they bring it home because you. What you think on the drive home they're going to forget that they fooled around? No, they're carrying it all the way home in the car, up to the house. Hey, honey, kiss the wife or the husband in the mouth, give them some tongue after they got done with the other person. And then they just transfer that energy into their partner, and the next thing in their partner is saying, "Hey, where'd you get those new underwear? Why I've never seen them before. That's funny. Oh, honey, that is listen. That has happened to every single one of us, whether you did it or it was done to you. You can stop all that. That all that. Listen, that doesn't exist in my life anymore, and it never will, because because a woman has to go through. She has to be here where I'm at. And in order to be here where I'm at, you have had to go through a lot of things out throughout your life. Do you understand? I just don't go out and randomly share my body with women. I don't do that. It doesn't even, I don't, and you got to think, the world thinks like a lot of women out there, they think, hey, guy, you give it to him, he'll take it. Not me. Not me. Listen, if a woman's deep in debt, I don't want her. Sex confuses things. I wouldn't want her thinking that the relationship's going to grow. It's going to blossom into something. It's not going to turn into anything. She's in debt. That would confuse things. So I don't do it. And men, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, man. Women will respect you even more when you're direct like that. That's the listen. When that's the type of honesty, whether they know it or not. That's the type of honesty they're looking for. Hey, do you want a relationship? No, I can't. No. Why not? You're in debt. What? Everybody's in debt. Yeah, you guys all say that. Everybody in debt says that. You guys always say, "Hey, everybody's in debt." No, only people in debt say that. You would never catch me say that. I would never say that because I'm not in debt. And then they take offense to it and whatever. Hey, listen, that's why I said it. We can be cool. I'm not saying I can't be friends with people. With women. I'll just say we're not having sex because I don't want you to confuse things. This is the gift that God has blessed me with going through all this stuff with narcissists, with my sister, the narcissist herself. This is the gift that comes out of from it. It's a whole different perspective of the world. All that all that growing up as a young man, you need to hit this and that and no you don't. All of that, no, none of that. That's no. None of that is true. You don't have to do none of that. You can take control of your own private parts and choose to do what you want to do with it, no matter what any guy thinks. Oh man, you need it, whatever. Women come up to you, hey, you can just turn to them. Yeah, I don't do that. I don't do it like that. Today, if I could go back as a young man, I would be totally different. I'd be like, yeah, hey, you want to go into the do that? Nope. I'd be like, no, I don't do it like that. I don't really share my body like that. That's exactly what I would say. I don't share my body like that. I don't do that. Because when guys get it, oh man, I'm a hit it, and they get it in the first night or second night, you think you're special. No, you're just special that day. It's not because you were fine and handsome and you were bomb in the bed. You're just special that night. And somehow it's like now that I'm older, somehow we've been, as a young, we've been made to believe that men can do this and women can do that. That listen, guys, that's a program. Women can do whatever they want to do. They're not looked down upon. Here's a different perspective. Like here in Seattle, right? This is way off the topic of it, but I want you guys. I'm going to make this point because it's just a different perspective of the world I live in. Now we have an area where a whole bunch of prostitutes up there in Aurora in Seattle. They're everywhere, walking the streets like on movies, right? And people go by and like, oh, look at them poor prostitutes. Why do you think they're there? Because there are people buying it. Do you understand? The men, and then not just men. I'm just saying in general, men, and then they go home to their wives. That's what I'm talking about, you guys. That's what I'm talking about. With children, you're not. They're not thinking about nothing. What about the nothing? I don't live in that perspective anymore. You understand? I don't look at them as, oh, look at the poor. Some of them, they're forced, whatever, right? But they're up there because they have. You think they're up there for free? They're doing it for free. They're doing it for money. People are paying them. If there was no money in it, there would be no prostitutes up there. You guys understand that? That's how it works. People be looking at the shit wrong. Even when I was a young guy, I said to myself, there's no way in hell I'm gonna pay for some. I'm not doing it. It's crazy, man. I know it's way off, but oh, shoot. Yeah, those people that don't know when they sleep around the devil, yeah, already have some devils using. Now I can see the people that the devil controls. Like he is full control of my sister. Full. I'm like, damn, you're just. How do I know? Because she's doing stuff that I would never do to her, ever in a million years, ever. Right? And still just, I'm like, damn, you don't even see that you're gonna make sure. Listen, when I got the papers, I'm like, you're making sure that there is no recovery of this. You just you just can't stop. They cannot stop. You as a relative, you have to accept that. That's going to be tough. Yep, kissing it. You see how deep it goes? I want people to see. I know they jump from there, but I want people to see the seriousness of it. And here, including myself, people, when I was younger, I was not an angel. I thought it was normal. This is what guys do. All of it is bullshit. All of you don't have to do none of that. Any guys that are telling you this is what you do, you have to get as much as you can from women, you got to hit as much. They're just telling you a perspective that was taught to them. You guys understand that? They're just telling you about what they've learned, who told them what this is. You got to hit a whole bunch of pussy. This, hey, listen, whoever told them that, it's just, I guess that's what it is for them. You don't have to do that. You could just tell women then, even if you told a woman, "Hey, yeah, I don't really have sex like that." 9 times out of 10, she's not gonna believe you anyway. It doesn't really matter. Just keep telling them. They're not gonna believe you. Most of them won't. I love the perspective that I live today. I love it. I'm excited. I know it's weird to say it, but I'm excited to see what my sisters are going to do next. I'm like, wow, I didn't think she would do that. This was the same thing that happened to me when I was leaving the narcissist. We had a business together. I left her. She locked me out of the business account. She locked me out of the business website. No, she changed my permissions to where I couldn't see anything. I could only see the last transaction of the date she changed it. Anything else, I couldn't see anything happening while she went on ahead and conducted business while I was gone. I was like, God said, you got to see what she's doing. She's making money in you guys' business that you created together, and she's not sharing it with you. That's how much she loves you. Remember, he kept saying, Linnell, would she do that? Would she really take all the money? This is what I'm saying to myself. Would she really take all the money and leave me with nothing? Yes, she did it. What did I do? I responded with nothing. Got back on my feet. We had a customer list. Check this out. The narcissist and I, we had a large customer list. I took the customer list, started my own business, right? In the same field. She wrote all the customers and told the customers that I stole from her. You hear me? She emailed the customer and said, hey, don't trust him. He's a thief and this and that. I was like, you know what I did? Nothing. You know what she did? She solidified who I was because she takes it all. Narcissists be taking shit personally. She think the customers are her personal friends. That's where she messes up. If I produce a great product and they already know it, they're going to come to me, and that's exactly what it did. That's what happens when you don't respond to a narcissist. It really turns around things. The customers, they don't care. They're like, hey, do you make the exact same product that you did when you guys were together? I said, yeah, and I do it better. They said, I don't care. All right, cool. I'm going with you. Customers are not your friends. Listen, people want customers want to be respected. They want the product that they paid for. They want it packaged right. They want it fast. That's what I give them. Of course, I don't got my customers don't have a problem with me. That's what most businesses fail, disrespecting of their customers. Which is the craziest. That makes no sense to me. Why would you disrespect your customers? They're the ones. Oh, whatever. We are. But listen, it is not a bad thing. Once you know who you are, I have no problem trusting. But today, I let the person show me who they are. I just don't immediately trust. I naturally trust because that's who I am. I'm just because I'm a trust. You can trust me. This is just another. But now today, I say, okay, this person is. I have to wait till they show me. I'm just not so quick to do it. I don't not trust them. Let's put it this. Let's make it clear. I don't not trust them. I just let them show me who they are because you don't know. Trust me, you don't really know who a person is, especially if you work with them. You don't know how they are when they leave work. You might think you do, but a lot of people that have jobs right now, you guys are only friends because you guys have the same job. Have you ever noticed when you change jobs, you guys are not friends no more? Because that should tell you that you guys were only friends because of the job. I thank God every day. Every day I go to sleep, every day I wake up, especially from saving me from the narcissist that I left. I needed God's help. Now that I recovered from that, my sister, listen, people, she's a piece of cake to me. That's nothing. Does it still hurt? Yes, of course it hurts. But I'm saying, put it this way: if it was the opposite, it would have hurt worse. That makes sense. If I would have discovered my sister was a narcissist without recovering and understanding from the first narcissist, it probably would have devastated me. But now that I was already recovered, brand new knowledge of narcissists, now they know they exist. Soon as my sister started doing the things she was doing, I was like, oh yeah, she's a narcissist for sure. You just had to go through. I didn't want to accept it because it's my sister, blah, blah, blah. I don't know that it's just a word. I just didn't know. But now I know. She is removed from my life forever. She knows it. She doesn't know what to do. So narcissists do what they do. Default what they do to everybody. They do that to everybody. What she's doing to me, she does that to everybody. She talks about all her friends. She talks about her boyfriend. It's horrible. I'm like, hey, why don't you just, if I remember one time I said to her, if he's so bad and his body is this and his sex is not this, I said, why don't you just stop seeing him? She says, no. Know why? Because she's using him and she uses him bad. You hear me? Bad. Her side dude, he don't have to do nothing. He just comes in the middle of the night, do what he needs to do, and he leaves. No, no vacations, no opening car doors, no none of that, no roses, no Valentine's Day, none of he don't have to do none of that. All he does, he just brings his own gift. Horrible person. And then she goes and kisses her boyfriend in the mouth. See how disgusting that is? It's disgusting. That's how they live in their perspective of the world. I don't know. I don't know. See, I don't really, let me tell you something. I don't really identify anybody so I don't know him. But what I do know is that he's part of that perspective of the world because he knows she has a boyfriend. So he is part of it. I don't necessarily know if he's a narcissist, but he is part of that world. But when you're the side dude, you don't really care because you're the side dude. You just think, oh, it's not me, it's not a big deal. No, it's you too. The side dudes they be thinking sometimes the side dudes will think they are the only side dude. My sister has several guy friends. Several. Several guy friends. I've only met one. What do I do? Ignore through the whole time. I'm like, hey, it's not me. It's none of my business, which it really is not. But when you now that I have left that perspective or leaving it now, you cannot be around it. You can't be around it. The energy. You can't be around the energy. I have I have done absolutely nothing. This is to be clear. So you guys, this is what you'll have to go through. Okay. I have absolutely done nothing in retaliation. Nothing. No revenge. I don't plan on trying to get her back after I leave. I'm going to do nothing. If I move out in the middle of the month or whatever, I'm still going to pay my full amount of the rent. I am all the way to the end. Why? Because you can't leave. A narcissist is looking for some type of energy in return. Nothing. When I leave, it's over. I'm not going to hang on by, hey, I'm not going to give you your money for the whole rent to the. No, you here, take it all. Here, my business is paying you anyway. Here, take it. I don't care for sure. Oh, listen, he has full control of my sister. My sister is a bad person, a nasty person. He does. He has a lot of people. He is. But remember, I want everybody to understand it's a choice. God gave us all the freedom of choice. So whenever you see a narcissist do something to you, they're choosing to do it. Don't be like, hey, the devil's making him do. Oh, well, even though he is, because he has full control over him, they're still choosing. He can't override God's gift. You understand? He cannot override God's gift of freedom of choice. He can't do that. But he can influence it. He can influence it. I know how I live now today. I see him. Not physically. Not physically like with my eyes, but I know he exists. I can see you. Oh, you're using my. This is how I think. Okay, I want you guys to understand. This is how I think. Oh, you're using my sister to try to get at me. Oh, yeah. I'm like, I don't know if you can hear me, but yeah, no. I nope. I'm not gonna fall for that trick. Oh, you want me to get mad and start throwing a hysterical fit in front of her friends as soon as she hands me the paper, talking about get out of her house? Yeah, I'm not doing any of that. I'm just gonna close the door and go back to sleep and not think about it for the rest of the day at all and talk about it now. I can see him. That's and people got to understand this. Even though I can see him, that doesn't mean he's going to stop trying to get at me. I want you, and I respect that. It's he. Listen, if he wasn't there, there would be no choice to make. You guys understand that? That there has to be an option to actually use the gift that God gave us. If he wasn't there, everything was harmonious, nothing was ever wrong. You wouldn't have to make any choices. You wouldn't even have to think. So he placed him there, and said, "Hey, which one you gonna choose? I choose God because He created everything. So that's why I'm. That's how I'm gonna live the rest of my life. Period. It's not really difficult either. It's beautiful, actually. It don't mean I can't cuss. It doesn't mean I have to go to church or I have to be a part of a religious. I don't have to be none of that. You guys understand that? I can just be me. I know the difference between right and wrong. I just won't do it. I would just won't do the wrong, not to myself or to people. Period. It's not difficult at all. Hey, you want to do? Nope, I don't do that. Hey, you're this and that. You don't. I don't even hang around people that I have to would have to question. First, you have to. First, what's going to have to happen? You're going to have to go into like a solitude thing if you can find some time alone, because you're going to have to put it this way. When you when you think of like use the Bible example, right? And I don't really get into the Bible. No, I'm not going to talk about the Bible. Anyway, let's say it like this. Once you understand you're a different person, now that I'm a different person, I know God sees everything. He's the creator of all, blah, blah, blah. I already know that. Nobody has to explain it to me. Nobody's going to change my mind. And that's it. Okay, cool. Now I can see I live in a totally different perspective, but I had to earn here. I had to earn. God knew that it took the pain of a narcissist to awaken me. Now that I'm awake, there's no misunderstanding. God talks to me. It's not like you, me, and speaking and saying talk is the wrong word, right? Put it this way. This is the perfect example. I like to always give an example. How does he talk to you? Say, say God in your mind. Okay. Now, now that you said it, you cannot prove to me that you said God in your mind. You actually didn't even say it. You might have, it might have sounded like that. You said in your mind that, like you said it, but think about it. You didn't verbally say it. If I called you a liar, hey, you didn't say God in your mind. You would say, yes, I did. but you couldn't prove it to me. That's how I hear him, the source. Sometimes he speak through me through like a video, or it's called synchronicities. It's not coincidences. Coincidences don't exist in my life. Synchronicities do today. So when a synchronicity happens, I'll either do it or say it always like it almost feels like it instructs me to do it. It might not even make any sense. Why am I doing? I don't really question why. Why am I doing it? Why am I doing this? I don't say that anymore. It'll piece together like a puzzle later. I might get a piece last month, and then next month I might get another piece that makes sense to that piece I got. And that's how. And then one day it's a full picture. That's how it happens today. But and sometimes I'll be really one to reach some like really high goals and get to this place right now and get this without taking care of this stuff with my sister before. I want to skip over and not resolve this problem with my sister, and that's not how it works. Everything goes in order. I cannot use something else to take my mind off my sister. Use my business to take my hey, let me just immerse myself in my business and not think no, it doesn't work like that. Hey, I really want this and that and move whatever I'm thinking of, right? Without taking it. No, God says no. She has to be removed first because she can't come where you're asking me to take you to. That's why he says it to me. She can't come. So she has to be removed first. How's she gonna remove? I'm gonna let you. She's gonna show you. Watch. Let her show you. And she showed me. He can't. God's not gonna make her do it because that would take away the gift that He gave her. He gave her the freedom of choice. If He said, "Hey, you're gonna do this," that means that negates the gift. It's beautiful here, people. It's beautiful. How could it be beautiful and you're in the middle of this? What your sister's doing because it's coming to an end. I can see her now. I expect. Listen. Everything she's doing, I expect her to do because she's a narcissist. And that now that listen, this is what makes it easier. She's doing it. I know she's a narcissist. I already expect narcissists to do what she's doing. I know soon it's going to be coming to an end because that's exactly what happened to the last narcissist. Same thing. She was doing the same stuff, didn't believe me, got worse, was getting worse and worse until I left her. She didn't believe it at first. Narcissists don't really, they're not going to believe it at first when you first leave them. They're going to think, oh, let me give them some time because that's how we are. We give it a little time. You want to forget about it. And that's exactly what they want you to do. They want you to forget about it without resolving it. That's how narcissists live. So they'll do it again and again and again and again until you put a stop to it. I'm excited about. She is the last narcissist close to me. Oh, this feels, you guys are really, this feels so amazing knowing that after I remove her, there are no other narcissists that are close to me like that. Now, the only narcissists that I have to deal with are the ones in the world, and they are a piece of cake. Once you remove, let me tell you something, people. Once you remove the narcissists that are closest to you, family, mom, dad, sister, cousin, the rest of the narcissists will be a piece of cake to remove from your life. I am so excited. I knew there was an energy even before all this, you guys. Here, let me give you another example. Even before this incident right here today, my sister has a dog, okay? A little tiny dog, which I love this little dog, right? but it's her dog. It's not my dog. Every day after work, let me tell you something, which is the craziest thing. Every day after work, my sister went somewhere. She would work from like six to let's say like 6 to 2. Every day after work, she would go somewhere to about 8 or 9 o'clock. Every single day after work. Who knows? I don't know. I didn't really care. She's a grown up. It's none of my business. But during this time, she would leave her dog at home with me to take care of. I'm not going to let her dog uh, not be social and interact with it, make sure it got food. But she would start to come home and say, "Hey, did you feed my dog?" And just like her side dude, I had to tell her to leave me out of. I had to pull her to the side and say, "Hey, listen, that is your dog. You have to come home, take her for walks." She would never take her dog for walks. Put potty pads down. Listen, she was nasty. Put potty pads down on the floor. Dog would shit and piss all in the rug on the room. Oh my God, dog, why are you doing that? Because you don't walk her. That's why. I don't say it. It was just disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I've always been a dog lover. That's why I don't have a dog now because I know I don't have time for a dog. That's why I don't get one. But she would just, oh man, what am I gonna do? Not give the dog food? Of course I'm gonna give the dog food. But she got used to that. Oh, it was horrible. Poor I was like, oh, poor dog. Always up in the house. My sister would be gone all day. In the summertime, listen, we had a hot summer, really hot summer. I couldn't leave because my sister has no air conditioning in this house, right? I couldn't leave the house. On a hot day, my sister was gone with her boyfriends kicking it. Guess what? Leave the dog home in the hot house, running a fan. I said, man, I can't go anywhere. I cannot consciously leave this dog like that. So I would stay home. I couldn't do it. Go out and enjoy my day knowing that her dog was in the hot house, even though it was her dog. I said, I can't do it. I gotta stay home. Nope. It was horrible. I don't know. She was just she just put it this way. She doesn't deserve to have a dog. She doesn't. She just doesn't deserve to have a dog. No, I mean, that's the things I wouldn't do. I just stayed there and took care of it until I get out of here. That's all. But like I said, for the last few weeks, I haven't seen her or the dog, so she hasn't been home because, like I said earlier, uh, narcissists narcissists are really cowards. They only do they do bad things to the people that care about them because that's how they have power over you. Which is weird, they take your love that you have for them and then use it against you because they don't really get away with that stuff that people that don't care about them. Like once I leave this house, she knows that she will never be able to hurt me or bother me anymore because she'll never see me again. So now she will have to concentrate on the people that are in her life, her boyfriend or friends, to do that to them. Because she does it to all her friends. Her friends and her boyfriend that came over here and supported her to bring these papers to serve me, they don't know that she talks about them. They don't know. I'm not going to go up to her boyfriend or her friends and say, "Hey, my sister talks about you," because you got to think about it. If if they are friends with her, friends with a narcissist, they wouldn't be able to hear me because they're friends with her. When you're not a narcissist, you're not going to be friends with a narcissist. I promise you that. You are not going to be friends with a narcissist ever. Well, the dog's with her, wherever she's at. She's probably over with her and her boyfriend and all this other stuff. Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. If you catch it later, I really hope it helps a lot of people in the same situation. I am grateful that God has put me on the mic to share my story with you as it is happening, not just not so you guys know it's not just a made up story just to try to get you guys jumping on because this type of information cannot be made up because they don't know it exists. God said to me that in order for me to talk about whatever I'm going to talk about to the people that are listening, I have to experience first so I can tell it to you guys the right way. This is a I think this is a really, really unique to me. It feels unique to have never had a problem with my sister my entire life and then turn and have her turn around to me and treat me like one of her side dudes. When she had told me that she wasn't gonna sign that paper, I remember staring at her. I remember where I was at. I remember where we were at. I remember the exact place, and I'm looking at her in her eyes, and I said something to the fact, I don't know my exact word because it felt like I was in a twilight zone, really. I'm like, I just left the narc that was doing the exact same thing that you're trying to do right now. If you do this, I'm going to leave you just like I left her. But it's going to be worse for you because I'm your brother. I'm like, hello, I'm your brother. Now, and everybody has seen this once. Yeah, as I'm talking to you right now, hmm, I saw it in her. Now I think about it. Every now and then, if you have ever been with a narcissist, you will see the devil come out in them. Their eyes turn black. They clearly are in full. The devil has full control of them. You can see the way they talk to you, the way my sister was talking to me, looking at me. I was like, oh, you're letting me know you control her. Got it. And you're hoping I'm going to respond, try to protect myself. You're my sister with the, I just turned, walk away, went in the room, and went to sleep because I knew if I responded, I would have gave him what he wanted. I would have made that negative energy connection. I would have made it, and I knew it. It felt like when you're in a dentist and they put that breathing mask on you, and you can actually feel that medicine. It feels like it's like a wave. It just waves over your brain and your body. It feels like almost like a blanket. That's what it felt like to me of negative energy that flowed over me when she said, I ain't signing shit. I knew at that moment I, I I mustered up the last little bit of self-control I had, the last tiny bit, and used it to take my body to my room, lock the door, and go to sleep. Because I knew there's nothing that the devil can do to take over my body if I just shut it down. You can't use nothing. Sorry, it's down. Boom. Lock the door. I locked the door so she couldn't just come walk in and try to activate it again. Hey, da, 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 da. It was locked. I had to cut off all connectivity because the devil was trying really hard to make that negative energy connection, and I didn't allow it. He was very close because not only the anger from my sister doing that, it brought up the memories of the ex because the ex is like just a year ago, year and a half ago. It's not really that long ago, and this was closer to you know then a few months ago too. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I was like, okay, I don't have control. I got to get my ass in the room, lay my body down, and turn it off. And that's what I did. Start, and then what I woke up when I woke up the next day. Excuse me. Let me take a drink real quick. Hold on. And when I woke up the next day, I was back in control, and she was gone. She wasn't at the house. So I was back in control, and I was thanking God that I did that because I got to think about it. There was no response because believe it or not, just believe it or not, the narcissist, my narcissistic sister, she is looking for me to do something bad. She is looking for me to react to what she's doing, right? Because she's begging for energy from me, but I'm giving her nothing because there's nothing to give. She's a narcissist. She gets nothing for the rest of my life. She don't get to hear my voice on the phone anymore. She doesn't get any text messages from me. She doesn't get to ask me any questions. She doesn't get to forward funny videos to me anymore and me respond. All of that is over. All of it's over. How a narcissist, and you know what's so crazy? This is what I'm thinking, and this is what I believe that happens to the ex narcissist. I think that the devil takes him over, takes control over him, because this is my image of the narcissist that cried and begged me for like a month when I left her. I think once I left, the devil probably just leaves her body and say, "Okay, see you later." She comes back like, "Whoa, what happened? What? Linnell's gone? Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. You mean temporarily? No, forever. He's never coming back." She just, oh, you know. But only a month later, she went back to who she was. But still, temporarily, which is called a narcissistic injury. When you do stuff like that, it's called a narcissistic injury. That's like when you cause a narcissistic injury, you have a limited time to do the things that you need to do to secure yourself from a narcissist, all right? Because they're going to snap back into with how they used to be, right? But for you guys following this journey, I've never removed a narcissistic family member, which is very different than a girlfriend, okay, or a boyfriend, or shit, even a husband or a wife. This is very different. So you guys get to follow along, and maybe and hopefully, when it happens, because there are millions of people with narcissistic family members, millions. Whether you want to admit it or not, it's totally up to you. But hopefully, you can listen to this and use this as a tool to help you get out of your situation. Because a lot of for here's an example. There's a lot of like narcissistic parents. They're probably narcissistic. Now, my mother wasn't a narcissistic person, not at all. She's more of she's a woman that doesn't know how to accept that I'm an adult with my own views and opinions. And since I'm her son, she thinks she can still speak to me as I'm her little young son without the respect of being an adult. No, you can't do that anymore. Sorry. You either respect I'm an adult or I just won't be here for you to disrespect. That's how serious I am now today. It doesn't do any of that. Exactly. She was supposed to discard me for sure. You're exactly right. And I was close to being discarded from the original narcissist. I was very close. Now, here's the wonderful thing. Here, I'm glad you brought that up. Here's the wonderful thing about being able to have left a narcissist. Now, I'm able to go back as who I am today. I'm able to go back into who I was with her, like almost go into my body and think about all the situations in it, but have a different perspective because I don't really have emotions tied to it anymore, right? It's not really, I don't really care about what she does or what she did to me. That's a long time ago now. But I can go back and think about, I can go into my body and be in that situation and think about what I'm that voice. Oh, here's a better way to say it. I'm that voice that was in the back of my mind that was talking to me during those times. Hey, Linnell, whatever that number is, that's pretty odd because that number calls her a lot, and but it's labeled something else, but it calls a lot, and then all of a sudden she disappears, goes upstairs, goes out in the car and talk or whatever. Just that's not normal. People in regular relationships don't do that, Linnell. They don't do that. They don't hide their phone or do weird stuff like, when she was fooling around. Hey, I got to run to the store. It'd be 9 o'clock at night. Oh, yeah, I really need to get this. Be gone for a long time. Hey, I try to call you. Oh, I must have left my car and my phone. Just, you already know. I just wasn't listening to the voice that was telling me that. That's not normal, Linnell. That's not true. That doesn't make sense. Like the things, like if you're in it right now, say like you're in a relationship with a narcissist. All the things that don't make sense are the red flags that you need to focus in on. Those are the uh hey, I tried to call you normally and then they give you some excuse that don't make sense. That's a red flag. It has to make sense. The truth naturally makes sense. The truth, when somebody tells you the truth, you don't even question it because it just makes sense. The ones you question, whether you question or not, either you question it them or you question it in your mind, because we all do it. That doesn't make sense. And then you just move on with your day. Those are red flags. Those are red flags. My sister, my sister, well, my mom, no, no, definitely. I know narcissists now. My mom is not a narcissist. She is more of a, she is more, because let me tell you something. As a kid growing up, she wasn't like that at all. I had a wonderful childhood. I'm just My mother was wonderful to me. She introduced me to God, put it into me earlier. So it's more of, hey mom, I'm not a child anymore. Let's have adult conversations. It's like that. It's more like that. My ex-husband used to lie and say that his battery died, must have fell out of what's so that is the things when I used to hear ridiculous excuses like that, the person I say this like that, my higher self, the person who I am today, was telling me during those times that doesn't make sense. That's not true. That doesn't sound logical. Like, here, put it this way. When I was with the ex narc, let me tell you something. Narcs, all narcs, a lot of narcs are like this. She was glued to her phone, glued to it. Everywhere she goes, she had to charge it. She always had to carry the charger with her because she was on her phone that much. But every time she left the house, guess what? She could never get to her phone. Her phone was dead. It must have been in the bottom of her purse. All of the stupid excuses that make. But all you had to do is this: is she with? All you got to do is like, are they with their phone when they're at the house? It's glued to them, upstairs, downstairs, whatever. But magically, when they go out in public, they can't. Their phone's not with them anymore. That's a that's a red flag. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's beautiful over here, though. It's beautiful here. It's like to hear now when I hear these stupid excuses, I just laugh. I'm just glad I'm not part of it. I'm just glad my sister is. She's almost out. I don't have to be part of those dumb things. The unnecessary stress for dumb stuff that she's responsible for that caused. It's just so stupid. It's like, oh my God, I got to go through all of this because you caused it and I'm not going with it. It just oh, but it's almost over. It's almost over. I was emotionally discarded by the narc, but she didn't leave. She thought I'd never leave her. They all think that. They all think that. But she talked smack about my daughter, yep, once, and got ejected from the home. They go deep. My narcissist, when you get with a people, when you get with a narcissist in a relationship, you naturally share things. You might even share past relationships, what happened. What you don't know, what I didn't know, is that they're gathering information. You're sharing, I was sharing, I was sharing my personal stories and my past relationship history with her, but I'm telling the truth. She's responding with her own stories, but she's telling all lies. What I didn't know is that she's taking this information to use it against me in arguments. So one time she used to go, one time we were having an argument, she goes, that's why your exes or your ex-wife don't like you no more because of this and that and da da da. And when she said it, first of all, I thought to myself, first of all, it's been years since I've even talked to any of them. I don't care if they don't like me. That's number one. I'm like, to myself, I'm like, why is she bringing that up? I don't care if my exes like me or not. If they still even feel that way about me, they need to go get some professional help because I'm not even thinking about them. And I realized this narcissist, her as a narcissist, she was trying to find something that was going to trigger me. So she used that. Did it work? No, she didn't use it. So she goes back into the stories that I tell her and go try to find something else. Because I would say to myself, now why are you bringing that up? That has nothing to do with the conversation. It's the trigger. It's the trigger. So you just no, you don't get any energy. You don't react. You just respond. Oh, okay, you did that. Okay, well, I guess I got to do this. All right, cool. It'd be so stupid. This is how I feel. I am so happy that for the rest of my life, listen, this is very important. I will never, ever have to have any of those stupid conversations ever. I'm so excited. I am so excited. I will never have to ever have these conversations because I will never let a narcissist close to me like that again. They're so easily identifiable. So easily identifiable. Take their phones to the bathroom. In the end, how I know I was about to be discarded in the end with the narcissist I was with, she would pull into the house and stay in her car on the phone for hours right outside of our place. That's how disrespectful she was of me. That's how I knew. I didn't know at the time, of course, but as I'm out now, I can see how close I was to getting discarded. Because here, let me explain. Here's a good one. Here's a good one. When her and I first met, when her and I first met, we would be on the phone. We were on the phone a lot, like teenage children. You hear me? Hours on the phone. Talking about what? I don't know. This is why I'm thinking, oh, this must be it. I've never done this in years. This is this connection. And I used to say, when she was on the phone with me that much, I used to say to myself, well, she can't be in a relationship because she's on the phone with me all the time. And if you're on the phone with me as much as if she was on the phone as much as she's with me, there is no way she could be in a relationship. So let's fast forward to me now. Towards the end of the relationship, her and I wasn't even sleeping in the same room. She would sleep upstairs in the room. I was sleeping down on the couch every night. Guess what she was doing? Upstairs talking to her new whoever all night, every day, because we wasn't talking. We were not talking. She was just so of course to whoever she's talking to, just like me, because that's exactly what how she probably did it with me. To whoever she's talking to, I'm sure she's lying to them. Oh, I don't live with anybody, da da da, because she's on phone all the time, up all night. I would fall asleep on the couch. She would be up on the phone all night to whoever she was talking to. Of course, whoever she was talking to thought they were together. And I thought to myself, damn, that's exactly what she was doing to me. Yes, that's how she did it. It's crazy. He said, "Facts. That's what they do, and they forget that the lies. They always forget the lies that they tell you, and then when you catch them, they're like, 'Oh, I didn't say that.' Then they start gaslighting." My ex-husband told me he was molested years later. He said, "I never." Oh my goodness gracious! My ex-narcissist did that shit all the time. Make up horrible stories, and then you're like, "Wait a minute." First, you say it to yourself. First, when they tell the story, and then they retell it, and they're like, "Wait a minute, that's not how you told me that." And then if you say it to them, they're like, "Oh shit, they caught me," and then they go off the deep end. Mm. I guess they have a pattern. And see, as chosen ones, this is how, because we have a version of love and a relationship in our minds, right? And as a relationship, as a grown up, you experience that. You're like, oh shit, I ain't done that shit. And since I was a teenager, we're talking all night. They're not giving their time to anybody else. Little do you know, they're still living with their boyfriend or their girlfriend. They're just not. They're just not in the same bedroom. I didn't listen. At this point in my life, I mean, at this point in our relationship, I didn't care if she was talking to somebody. I was just ready to leave. I wasn't sleeping with her. I stopped having sex with her. I didn't care. Right. So, of course, she's preparing for, because she does this. I'm not special. I just happened to be the guy that she was doing it to in this particular time frame. She does this to every guy because that's exactly how it happened to me. I was on the phone with her all night, every day, during the day, this and that, all that, because maybe the guy that she was with, when she was talking to me, had enough of her shit and he was leaving anyway. So he didn't care who she was talking to. Because to me, if another person could take away her attention off of me, I was happy. She would be gone. Listen, she would leave on weekends. You guys, she would leave on weekends. Oh, I'm going to stay at. She would cause. Listen, she would cause a fight on a Thursday night, Friday, so she could leave for the weekend. It was a pattern. She would always, because now that I think about it, when I think about it, I'm like, man, she just ruined another weekend. This is what I would say to myself. We could have had a wonderful weekend. Little did I know that was her plan. It was horrible. She's a horrible person. Horrible person. It's in the handbook. It's a it's a pattern that narcissists have. If I tell you guys stories and it reminds you of the same thing, it's a pattern. I was like, man, I haven't done this in years. Oh my God. Listen, I don't even know what we were talking about. I can't even remember. I don't even like talking on the phone that long, really. What was I talking about all night, every day? I don't even know. I think it was a mixture of everything. The sexual tension, the connection. It was just everything. It was just everything, really. Today, oh yeah, yeah. It is. Now that I was part of it on the other end, what was really happening, I'm like, oh shit. That's how she was able to talk to me all night, every night. Just like this. Mm. Oh yeah. When she would put it this way, when she left for the weekend, oh, those 2 days, people, oh man. It was so peaceful. I would This is what I would do. I would either, for the first day, I would go out and get me some dinner. I would go out, order me some food, go pick it up, bring it back home, and I would have dinner to myself. I would put on my favorite show or TV movie and have a dinner to myself. And then the next day, I would go out and have dinner or go out and do something exciting. And listen, this is what made it so wonderful, because when you're a narcissist, you don't even want to come home, okay, because they're going to be there. When she was gone for the weekend, I knew when I went out and enjoyed my day, maybe had a nice dinner, walk at the park, feed some birds. I knew when I got back home, she wasn't going to be there and it was going to be peaceful. And I would imagine what my life was going to be like when she was no longer there, even if it was for 2 days. I said, this is what it's going to be like. I'm going to come home and it's going to be quiet and I'm going to go in my kitchen and I'm going to cook me my food and it's just going to be me. And I don't have to, oh man, I would just concentrate on it. And then when Sunday evening came and she would pull up to the driveway, I'd be like, damn. But then because she would do it all the time, not every single weekend, but I guess when her boyfriends would probably come into town or, one of her lovers or whatever, right? She would always cause the fight during Wednesday, Thursday, make up some stupid nonsense. And I remember every time back then, I'd be like, oh man, she ruined another weekend. Well, she did. She was doing it on purpose. I'm going to stay tonight at my grandparents'. And, no, you're not. No, you're not. I don't care what you do. Go ahead, just leave. I didn't say that. I just was happy she was leaving. I was just happy. Whatever. Okay. She would come home. I wasn't, hey, B, where you been? This and that. I wouldn't say anything to her. Nothing. She would come home, think she got away with it again. Little did she know. Little did she know. It was beautiful though. I took a situation because when I was in it, I had two options. I could say, this is the worst situation in the world. It was bad though. It was a horrible situation. But I could just accept it and just take the whole thing, or I could just take the things that are actually good in it. When she left, it was peaceful. 2 whole days of nothing, of just imagining what's going to be like when I leave her. Uh, it was just beautiful. Oh, it was so beautiful. It was peaceful. I would leave for the day, go take a walk at the park, and when I got in my car to come back home, I wouldn't dread coming back home because I was coming home to a negative. I knew she wasn't gonna be there. She was off enjoying her life, pretending with her boyfriend. I was happy that whoever this dude was, hey man, do your thing, tear it up, do whatever you need to do. Just keep her with you. Keep her with you. Oh, it was beautiful. Mm. It's so funny. I remember watching her come home after she got her fill, satisfied of whatever she did. Even she would have listen, she would have marks on her body, like hand marks on her body. She would literally have those on her body. I was like, hey, where'd that come from? I don't know. I must have bumped into a table. It's like, yeah, well, whatever. You just keep on lying. Whatever. You know how much pain that is to see that? I was in so much denial in being in a narcissistic relationship. I was in so much denial. And this is what it makes me as a man. This is what it really makes me think about. As a man, I would see a woman in an abusive relationship with a man that was physically abusive, cheat on her all the time, blah, 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 blah. And I would say to myself, well, why don't she just leave him? Why is she staying? Why is she accepting? Now, as a person that was with a narcissist inside the narcissistic fog, accepting the same abuse as a man with a woman doing that against me, I now understand. Never again will I judge a woman. Never again, because there's a psychological component to it all that people don't know. If you've never been in a relationship with a narcissist, you don't know. You don't know. She's a horrible person. Same here. I stayed. Not a big, it, to be in the narcissistic fog, in so much denial, Let me explain this to you as a man, for men that may have never. It's like I would see I would see a text message in her phone, and I would not confront her about it because I didn't want to get into it. Listen to it. It doesn't even make any sense. I didn't want to get into a fight with her about it. So I would just ignore it. That's called the narcissistic fog. It's crazy. I remember one time I said we was arguing about something. I said, "Give me your phone. I want to see your phone." You know what she said? No. I said, "Give me your phone." She said, "No, I'm not giving you my phone." I was just She just didn't have any respect. She just right there. She told me everything I needed to. You know what I did? I stayed with her. Even after that, even after she said, "This is no." Let me tell you exactly what she did, so you guys can understand the level of denial that I was in. We were in an argument. I said, "Give me your phone right now so I can look into it." I could see on her face that there was something in that phone that she did not want me to see, and she was not going to give me that phone because that would have solidified everything, right? I wasn't going to strong arm her for it. I'm not going to jail for anything. So I said, "Hey, listen, you know what? Never mind. By you not giving me that phone, you've already told me the answer I had." I got up, went downstairs, and just said, "Screw it." 20 minutes later, listen to me closely, people. 20 minutes later, I'm gonna say 15, no, let me not say 20, 15, let's say 15, 15 minutes later, she comes downstairs and says, "Here, you can look at my phone." Did you hear what I said? "Here, go ahead, you can look at my phone." I thought I was in the Twilight Zone. I said, "Why would I look at it now? You deleted all the information that you didn't want me to see." "No, I didn't. No, I didn't." I said to myself, and I didn't say this to her, I said this to myself. This is the person, and this is the person who I am now. Okay. I obviously said this to myself then because I remember it. She thinks I'm really fucking stupid. Yes, she thinks you're dumb. She erases the information and comes down and tells you that she didn't, and she expects you to believe it. Yes, that's true. Yes. The question is, are you going to believe it? The answer is yes, because I stayed with her. Why am I easily to say something that sounds like it's to be embarrassed or whatever? Because I know exactly what it is. Because that wouldn't happen today. There is no woman on earth that would ever be able to do that to me ever again for the rest of my life, ever. You guys understand? You could just hear it in my voice, but ever. That will never happen again because of what I learned in that. That cannot be taught in a book. There's no classes for it. You have to, and hopefully, this is what I'm saying. Hopefully, my experience can prevent a person ending up in that situation. Hopefully, this story can help those that are inside the narcissistic fog as we speak. Believing, believing everything the narcissist says. Mine was so bold. He would text me, but the text was, oh my God. Other lady, he's he said his friend was text. Oh my goodness, it's so bad. When you're in their world and they do stuff like that, this is what people don't really understand. The things that a narcissist does to you put you in such shock that this is coming from a person that claims that they love you, you love them, you're having sex with them, and then they do this stuff. to you. It shocks you to the core to where you have no words to say. You're like, is this true? It's true in the narcissistic fog. Hmm. Good morning, Truth. It's 6 a.m. 6 a.m. somewhere. Where you at? You came at the tail end, Truth. You can go back and listen to it. It's a good one. It's actually a beautiful one, actually. I'm excited about the outcome. Uh, once I leave this situation, I'm going to be getting on camera more. I'm more of a camera person. I know you guys never see me, but believe it or not, I'm a camera person. If you want to see me, just look up savings minus debt on YouTube. Savings plural minus debt. That's me. But I plan on doing more videos once I'm out of this particular situation. Set up my own, set up everything, and just stuff like that. I'm excited about that too. It was a complete shock. I can only imagine. M- The ex narc, she did. Now that I'm out and I think about certain situations now, I can really think about how many things she actually did, because I can think about all the situations that clearly didn't make any sense, and now I can clearly see what it was. She was even, put it this way, she was still even seeing her. She has a young son. He's 10 now, but he was younger then. She was still seeing his father, because I could tell by, now that I think about it now, okay, now that I'm out, I could tell by the way he was acting towards me, speaking to me. That's a man that's still having sex with the woman that I was with, because he was saying things and speaking a certain way that normally a man wouldn't speak if he wasn't still having sex with her. Now it just all makes sense. It just makes sense. I've seen you on the shorts that you have on it. Oh yeah, that's right. I do the shorts on there. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's right. I forgot about that. Oh, you're in Europe. Wow. I appreciate you, Truth. I see a lot of your comments. I read them all the time. Very much thankful for them. Much appreciated. I really do take the time to read them all, because they make sense to me. And it's a frequency. So when you're on the same frequency, they really just it really does make sense. What's up, Wayman? LJ, a woman told me that she keeps explicit content of previous partners, even in new relationships, because she has too many pics to worry about deleting them out of her phone. But she doesn't remember. So funny, Raymond. My ex didn't necessarily say that, but she did. That's crazy. Wow. You gotta think about that. When like, for example, I don't want to see any sexual pictures or things me and my ex did. I have absolutely no desire to keep them or even look at them. You understand it? Because it would be disgusting to me. Everybody, listen, there's nothing, let me make sure it's clear. When you're with the right person and you want to do that kind of stuff and you have mutual respect for each other because that's what you're into, great, cool, do it. But when you're wrapped up in the moment and it consumes your brain, people do things that they normally would not do. A narcissist does that to gather things to use against you. It doesn't turn out to be the type of thing that you were looking for it to be. They're using it as something to use against you, which in turns ruins everything. It's unfortunate. Mm. Definitely lying. That's crazy. Mm. They got some bad people out there. In this world we live in now, the world is still good. Don't get me wrong. This world is still beautiful. But the times that we're in, to be a liar is a wonderful time to be a liar because they can be anybody. They can, you know, they can be behind emojis now. You don't have to show who they are anymore. They can be anybody. They can look like anything. They're taking away pictures and turning people into emojis. So now whatever emoji that they put up there, you're just going to start to believe the emoji, to believe they really look like that emoji. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. Pictures pictures are enhanced. You can change it. When you look at even in videos, they don't look the same. It's like no, you can't believe none of that. I got to see you in person. And if I meet you and you don't look like what you've been showing me, that's a lie to me. Goodbye. That's a lie. Probably is an adult. Probably all that. I don't know anybody from now on. This is how I live my life. I don't know anybody until they show me. Understand? I don't automatically assume that they're not. A, I don't lie to people. I don't automatically assume that somebody doesn't lie to me. When somebody, if a woman meets me and she's like, "Hey, wow, you look good," and this and that, I don't think I'm special. I just think I'm special at that moment. Narcissists have short attention spans, very short. If you don't give a narcissist what they want fairly quickly, they're going to move on. So that's how I know. Well, I'm not just because I'm a man with a male private part doesn't mean I just jump in and put it in anything I see that a woman offers it to me. I don't do that. Get to know her, wait, talk. If she's a narcissist, she's out of there. Hey, that's a win-win for the both of us. Like when you hear terms like ghosting, let me give you an example, like ghosting. When you hear a term like ghosting where people just vanish on you, if it's a term if it's so much that it's a term that everybody knows, that means millions of people do it. Now, the person I am today, if a person ghosts me, they only do that one time to me. You're not going to get a second time. You're not going to get a second chance to ghost me. And that's not just relationship. That's friends. A lot of people do it. They just disappear on you and just think you're supposed to understand. And then they'll reappear like nothing was wrong. Are you crazy? Not to me. You're not doing that. Remove negativity from your life, delete and unfriend, block, break it up. Yep. Break up, divorce it, just get rid of it. It's your life. It's your life and you are in control for sure. Remove it. Do not be afraid to remove these people. Do you have to be strong? Definitely catfish. Do you have to be strong? Yes. That's why I'm showing you guys by doing it. That's why I'm showing you guys while I'm in the middle of it. I'm removing my sister, who I loved and trusted all of my almost 55 years of life. Removed over half. Listen, I've known my sister my entire life. The second half of my life, I won't even know her. Do I, did I know? Could I see that one coming? Absolutely not. I'm excited about it. When it says, when we want to hold on to a connection with someone we overlook so many red flags, yep, and give them the benefit of the doubt. But if they were anyone else doing doing the same thing to us, we wouldn't accept it. That's why I said that that word sister, that's a word to me. If that word sister wasn't in between me and my sister, I wouldn't fuck with my sister. I don't allow people like that in my life. But since the word sister was in between us, I allowed it. God says, "Can you see now?" Yes. Okay. Lesson learned. God told me it doesn't matter who it is. Doesn't matter who it is at all. It doesn't matter. That's going to be a very difficult thing to do. It's going to be very difficult. I know you hear me, it sounds like it. Oh, it sounds pretty easy to you in your voice. I had to work my way up to this. I had to go through the first narcissist to be strong enough to handle my sister. If I didn't go through the first thing with the narcissist, I wouldn't know that my sister is a narcissist, people. That's what I want to make sure. I wouldn't have been able to identify her as a narcissist because I wouldn't have known. I would have just been like, "Oh my God, why is my sister doing this to me? Why is she treating me bad? Why don't she?" I would have been like that, just like everybody else. Why is she doing this? We've been together all of our life. We never had a problem. I would have just been saying that, repeating that over and over and over again, not realizing that's what narcissists do. Once I accepted that, I'm like, oh, okay. But I could quickly identify that really quick at first because it was I already knew what she was doing. I already knew she was doing it in her own life. Okay, Truth, I need you to stop doing that. Don't keep doing that. I saw the thing, but that's okay. I saw it the first time, but just don't repeat it over and over again, please. Sorry about that. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here, you guys. This was a good one. I enjoyed this one. I really did. I enjoyed it. It was a good one. Really good. Hopefully, this will be able to help a lot of you. Help you guys out of a lot of situations with a narcissist if you're actually in it. If you're actually in it, I hope this gives you the power and the strength to get out of it. There's something beautiful on the other side of it. It's your higher self. Your higher self is waiting for you. It's just not free to get here. It takes a lot of strength. You guys have a good night and enjoy yourselves. All right. Bye.